So we're here on Books in My Bag Day in Wenlock Books in Shropshire, and I'm here to talk to Andrew Fusek Peters about a very exciting new book that's coming out next year and that we'll be launching at the Wenlock Poetry Festival. So how's it all going, Andrew?
It's going really well. The title was the first thing we got, which is In Wilderness is Paradise Now.
That is such an amazing title.
It's good, and it's from the Omar Khayyam, the Edward Fitzgerald translation. I just saw it somewhere and I thought, I love that. I think it's a gorgeous phrase. And then something like Wonder and Wildlife from the Shropshire Borders, because it's landscape, it's wildlife, it's poetry. But it's not just about the words, it's about the images, and it's about the new shift in my career, which has pretty started 3 years ago, where I started discovering Shropshire in an entirely different way that was not about the literary or the poetic, but was about the visual. And from early beginnings, where I was very fortunate to come upon a very hungry barn owl feeding in the middle of the day, with not a cheap camera, but about 800 quid's worth of kit. Suddenly, 3 years later, I'm working with juvenile cuckoos on the Stiper Stones, otters in Shrewsbury, the full moon over the Stiper Stones. An extraordinary species and flora, and it's just been magical.
So do you feel as if your eyes have opened to the county, or not just the county but the borders, in a new way?
I've lived here all my adult life since I got married, and although I knew of these things, I think I knew there were red grouse on the Longmont, but to get within 5 foot of one and photograph it at the dusk with the purple heather behind, almost in near darkness, if you told me I'd be doing that with a crazy big lens and camera and I'd understand what that was all about, if you said 3 years ago that's what you'd be doing now, Andy, I'd say, well, no, I'm a writer, I don't do this, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's astonishing.
So life is astonishing, and I feel quite humbled by it, because you just don't know what's going to happen next, as long as you're open to new ideas.
So what was it, you think, that took you in that new direction?
Oh, well, I pretty much know that, having been very ill with depression, and not in a melodramatic way, having nearly died, having got better, this just came along. A counsellor said to me, Andy, you need to have a hobby with your hands, you're in your head all the time. And once the camera was in my hand, which I bought for my son for his stop frame animation, he stopped being interested, I started being interested. And then I thought, but there's things going on. There's dragonflies in flight, there's birds in flight, there's animals doing things, and with a zoom lens you can get close in. This is awesome. I can't paint, I can't draw, I've never been able to do any of those things. Suddenly I can call myself a visual artist, which is pretty exciting.
So it's a whole new form of creativity.
Steve McQueen said many years ago, which I think is an awesome, really interesting artist, they said, oh my God, you do this, and then you do films, and you were doing art, and what's that all about? And he just looked at the interview and said, well, it's all stuff, it's just stuff. And I just, so if that's the way it's to describe it, I go, yeah, it's just stuff. You find a way to express yourself. If you're an artist, you have to. That's how you live and breathe. That's how you feel healthy and good. And it beats daytime TV.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
I'm never at home for daytime TV.
Thank God.
So in terms of the book, how far along are you with it now?
We've done pretty much most of the shooting. We've done the cover, we're pretty much there with the cover. I've got about another 2 months of shooting, but because it goes through each month of the year, obviously therefore I can now do no shooting for January, February, March, April, all the way through to where are we, October. That's been and gone, because my deadline is pretty much the end of this year. So the shooting's happened, the editing is happening, and then it goes off to print pretty much in January, and then it'll be ready for March, April, for the Wenlock Poetry Festival.
And are you writing new poems for this as you go along?
Yes,
How do the poems work with the photography? Is
I
it the
think
same source of
like all the
inspiration?
best poems that have happened over the years, a line comes into my head when I've seen something or something's happened, and I've gone, you know what, I'm not going to write about this for a chapter, it's going to be a poem. And so over the last 2 years, there's been a whole series of new poems, which I'm really excited about.
Oh, wonderful.
So the book is not a poetry book, but it has poetry, and it's not nature writing, it has nature writing. It is a photography book, but it has those pluses in it as well.
Fantastic. And at the Poetry Festival, might we be able to have an exhibition of your artwork as well?
100%. I'm never going to say no. So already I'm thinking about those images. And really, it is the wow factor, not the X factor. I want people to go, but hang on, how did you do that? Oh my God, that's impossible. Oh wow. Either you call this a compliment or an insult. I've had my first accusation of fakery. Recently I was out just after the sunset for the red moon, and as I was photographing this red moon, a red kite flew quite near, not into it, but just edging over it, and I got a sequence of about 6 shots. and this guy said I was a fraudster, I put the moon in, blah blah blah.
Oh.
So I should take it as a compliment that I'm out in interesting places at interesting times. Someone says if you walk in the woods long enough, something will happen. You spend enough hours in the field, something.
If you lie flat on your back on the garden lawn, looking at the night sky, you'll see shooting stars. Or I actually never realised that until a few years ago. There's always something.
You put the hours in, so people go, oh, but how do you do that? Oh, it's just the camera. I'm like, no, there is so much technique and time and effort and listening to other people and learning. The whole thing is an exercise in humility, but also in confidence and saying, but yeah, I can do this. If something starts to happen quite quickly, I know how to respond to that. If a grouse takes off, 100 times, 99 times out of 100 I won't get it, but the 100th time I will. And you're not going to do that with a 200 quid bridge camera.
No. Or my iPhone, which is what I take my morning walk photos with.
You know, shame on Apple, dreadful people, don't pay their taxes, but the iPhone 6S has apparently got quite a good camera, so I'm going to guess it for those moments where I haven't quite got all my bits with me.
Yes.
The cover of my last book, Dip, was half an iPhone photo and half a photo with my proper camera.
Oh, really?
Which the designer put together, which is amazing, really.
Yeah. Well, we're thrilled that it's all going so well.
Oh, thank you.
Can't wait to see the book, and looking forward to seeing you at Wenlock Poetry Festival.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for coming and celebrating Books of My Dad. Books of My Bag. Thank you.